Oh, like a clown? Well, okay. Ooh. Using natural manure, but because it's summertime, I like it because it's melted, and I don't have to melt it. So recently, I've been seeing like these videos where people are talking about like hair treatments that they're doing, and they're not even measuring it, and they're just like pouring honey on their hair and cracking an egg in their hair, and I'm like, are they doing this for views? Because I've noticed like there's this woman, she keeps saying, "Oh, my hair's tangled again." And I'm like, do you let your hair get tangled and do these hair treatments like because I don't know, maybe that's just how people. But then again, I think in California life, like even when I've seen a few people with super long hair, a lot of people do not like to wear their hair in a protective style, like braids. I've just noticed like it's not super popular. Like you either have people that are updo all the time or messy bun, or I don't know. It's just like, to me, I feel like hair care is so therapeutic. And for example, some people love to go get their nails done, but I've recently decided, well, I've always known this, I polish my nails a few times in my life, and I still have nail polish, but honestly, I'm not incentivized to want to put things on my nails because I don't know, I don't like the quality of my nails after that happens. Plus, like, a few weeks ago I did henna, and like it just kind of, like I have a little bit of a natural demarcation where I did the henna just when I put it on my hair, and it kind of gave some color to my nails. I'm just so, like, that's not me. Like, I don't want to wear nail polish, and I just don't want to do my nails, and I just like my natural nails. And I don't know, somebody said, oh, because our mom thinks that way, and I'm like, I don't know, it's just how I think too. Like the few times I've done nail polish in my life, I really hate it because afterwards you have to do acid toner to remove it, and then your nails never, your actual nails just never look as healthy again. But I get a lot of people love long nails, and long nails are very on trend and on point right now. I have no interest. I really, like, I have zero interest to have long nails. I'm just like, what end and what benefit would I get from that? I just not interested. Like, to me, I'd rather buy a cute dress and spend, like, I don't know. Some people I know, like, they know places where they can get a really good set of nails for like $40, but every few weeks, which is that's a really good deal. But to me, I still would rather buy a dress or something. I don't know. That's me. I don't want to spend money on nails. And then another thing, like the hair salon, like I get it. Some people go there for trims, or if you need to get your hair styled a certain way. But there was literally this lady that was telling everybody that they needed to go to the hair salon to buy shampoo. And I'm like, why? I'm just really, I know, like, there's a lot of talk and people are like, oh, like, these higher end shampoos are so much better, but not always. Like, there are a lot of big YouTubers in the hair world that have came out recently and said, you know, I like both a mixture of drugstore and high-end shampoo, and there's been a lot of science behind the science of shampoo, and the high-end ones usually have certain fewer luxury quotation mark ingredients, but they're not always better. And I don't know, you can find dupes, honestly. Like, well, I'm not even a fan. Like, I would not buy, what's this one? I ended up inheriting it from my sister because she went to Sephora and she got a gift, and she's like, oh, it's Moroccan oil shampoo, and I wouldn't buy this stuff. Like, why would you buy it? It's overpriced. I think it's like almost $40 if you go to buy it. I've just been using it as body wash because I didn't really like it either. It smells very perfumey. I wouldn't buy though. I do like use the other part that she gave me. I already used the conditioner. It was gone in a day after I washed my hair. Oh God. I use this one sometimes just because, you know, it's free oil, but you know, OGX, which they were saying, oh, it makes your hair fall out. It's a dupe for this. But then if you want to be even more frugal, you can just buy kitchen oil. And I told you I still have my Yves Rocher oil, but it's because, you know, I like them, but it's something my mom buys. I wouldn't never buy those. But when I did my henna treatment the other day, I used olive oil with it. And I'm just loving, like, natural oils. You can buy virgin unprocessed coconut oil. You can buy olive oil. You can use it for cooking and your hair. And if you want to scent them up, like, I have a lot of odds and ends of things. I don't know. I bought essential oils from Sprouts, but I also have so when I do henna, I have these doTERRA oils, I mean, I would not become part of the doTERRA selling thing. I just know a lady who sells them, and I mean, they smell good and they're good oils. But you can find the same thing. It's like you could actually buy essential oil at the grocery store. And this one is the orange oil, and I always add this to henna. Actually, henna stick, and that's just been like a lot of advice for years, is that you put essential oil in henna to make it smell good, and that is a game changer. So I add this one in, and it makes it like, if you put it, actually I'm really addicted to this one. Like if you just put some, oh my gosh, it's a lot. Oh, that's a lot, friend. But it's okay, I'll just kind of mix it in. It smells like an orange. I just love that. And then this one, like if you don't want to do like making your own rosemary oil, you just add a few drops of this to like henna or your other oils, and you don't have to do that whole process of making the oil. And you can find these at Sprouts too. Like you don't need to go make, you could make, if you have time, make a rosemary oil, but I'm like, this is the one from the PubMed study anyway, the concentrated essential oil that promoted hair growth, not just the water rosemary. So anyway, those are just my thoughts on oils, and whatever. I don't think you need to buy the bougie one. I am brushing my hair. I just talk as I do it. I mean, if you want something more specific, you have to send a super chat. Yeah, you can't be, you have to tip the channel if you want something more specific. You know, that's how I roll. Nope, you didn't tip the channel. I'm gonna do that. Give the channel a big giant tip and maybe, but why? I want to. We're just having fun conversation. This is low-key fun stuff. So like when I brush my hair, I take my time. Also, I'm here to share my hair care theory with people. Definitely. How long is my hair? See? This is how long my hair is right now. I did trim, I didn't say exactly how much I trimmed off my hair back in June, but I think it was like 3 inches, okay? Which, by the way, this is revolutionized. Like, I always trim my hair, but then when I was getting like deep into my super long, like back when I used to have like almost knee-length hair to past knee-length hair, I started getting all this advice from people, and they were people that didn't even show their hair, but they told me that they had long hair and that I should aim to have floor-length hair, and that I should go like a year without trimming my hair. And that's a big mistake. Like, the longer your hair gets, I think it's okay to trim your hair frequently, because personally, like when your hair gets longer, the ends are more fragile and they're more delicate, and you're just going to be happier long term trimming your hair as much as you want. Like, look, I went from, like, I did a big cut in February of 2022, and then I did like an inch trim in November of 2022, and I went from November of 2022 until June of 2023, which was like, that's more than a year and a half, and then I trimmed 3 inches off my hair, which to me is completely reasonable, because there's some people that trim their hair every 6 weeks. So I don't know, like, I'll go periods where I feel like, you know what, I don't really want to trim my hair. I'm not into it. I just want to grow my hair and get length. But then sometimes I'm like, I want my ends to make me happy. So I do everything for my hair health and my hair happiness, and not for like other people and what they think is better. Don't ever follow long hair suggestions from people that don't have long hair and don't show their hair and don't know what it takes to grow their hair long. So like men who are actually growing their hair long, like they get a lot more credence with us long hair ladies, because they're on a long hair journey with us and they're part of the long hair community and they know about long hair. But men who don't grow their hair long, they can look at long hair, they can appreciate it, but they don't really know like anything that goes into it because they're not somebody that's doing it. And the irony is, you know, genetically, men can actually grow their hair longer and faster than women because that's just a genetic trait. Like, yes, men can bald. Like, they also have the genetics towards premature balding and things like that. Not all men, but some men do genetically. But men who tend to have fuller heads of hair, their hair will grow long and faster than women's hair, and it's just a genetic, scientific, interesting fact. So, like, if a man wants to grow his hair long, it's a little bit easier for him than a woman in a way. I mean, you still need to take care of your hair, right? But I just think that's interesting. I think, like, Riley, do you not hear anything I'm saying? Or are you just typing everything you want? Because I have lots of videos where I do all those things which you can watch after this, but I just take my time and I'm very gentle with my hair. Like when I'm brushing out my hair, I try to keep it as smooth and contained as possible. Like I showcase real hair here. Like the real thing, like how people do it in everyday life. Rinse your hairbrush through water. Like do every few swipes, pull all the hair out of your brush as you go, and it will keep your brushes cleaner, longer. Plus, the water helps with detangling your hair. And here's another thing: like I sometimes have gone like a couple days without brushing out my hair. But truth be told, I'm kind of getting to the point where, yeah, if it's a weekend and I don't want to, I can understand leaving my hair in a braid for a couple of days, but I'm getting more to like, okay, like when I was on my first super long hair journey, I would sometimes just re-braid my hair and kind of smooth it out with my fingers, and then on Saturday I'd have like a big brush out day, like because you still produce oil in your scalp and you like to bring it through your ends, and you don't need a boar bristle brush to do that. Like any brush will do that because oil still spreads. You like, it's nothing like, there's nothing secret and magical about the boar bristle brush. I just personally would never buy that brush because it has pig hair in it. Plus, I don't like the texture of that brush. Plus, I feel like that brush is harder to navigate, and a lot of women are like, oh, you must do this. But then it's funny, like there were some people that were such big advocates of that. Now I see they're going to combs, and I'm like, that's interesting. They're going to combs all of a sudden. You know why? Because if you have any kind of texture to your hair, like waviness, curliness, a boar bristle brush is just harder to pull through your hair. And you know, times have evolved. Like 100 years ago, yeah, that was the kind of brush a lot of people had. But a lot of people never would have had a boar bristle brush. A lot of people just used a comb, and I personally, no, it's a pig. No, that's not happening. I like how you just keep writing randomness, but you're not really actually engaging with anything I'm saying. You're just like writing whatever pops in your headers. It's cute, but you didn't tip the channel. And that's not required, but I'm getting to the point, I'm like, if you don't tip the channel, don't expect much. So put some of that oil in my hair and then add some water for slippiness. And let's just comb through this section just to get it started. I mean, sometimes if I'm running short on time, I do just use the wet brush only. But the thing I like about this is I feel like it kind of just breaks up. Like, even though your hair is braided, it tends to tangle less. Well, it does for me anyway. I find that it just kind of because it's still gonna be stuck in the braid texture that you created. Plus, when you have wavy hair, it takes on the texture of any shape you put it in. Hi, how you doing? Okay, I'll take another sip of water. Yum, yum, yum. And then another sip of coffee with coconut milk in it. Coffee with coconut milk is so yummy. So I've been like, I never used to use like the vegan coffee creamer, but I'm getting away from it again and just going back to, I love just like coconut milk the most. I used to use almond back in the days, but it really is not the best one, honestly. So I just really love coconut milk. It's my favorite one. And you know what's really good is like sometimes when you get that canned coconut milk, the really full fat one. So I want to make this dessert thing that my mom was talking about. I'm like, I don't remember you mentioning this. And she said something random about how up until 1990 they used to call this milk ice when you guys were kids. And I'm like, Mom, did you ever make that when we were kids? She goes, no. And I'm like, she must have read this in a recipe book somewhere. So basically, she used almond milk to do it, but most people use real milk. And you take milk, I think you can take like some sort of flavoring if you want. Like some people put, I don't know, quick in it. I think she was using natural vanilla. My mom loves it. Natural vanilla and something else. And she was mixing it up, and she was saying like, back in the days they used to have these ice cube trays, and I don't remember this. This is before my time, but I've seen it where it was a metal ice cube tray, and they had the metal inserts, and you would take the insert out. But I don't know. By the time I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, they had plastic ice cube trays. So I don't remember those, but I've seen them. But recently it was funny because I think I saw one for sale because, our phones spy on us. Apparently my phone spied on me, and TikTok told me about an ice cube tray with a metal insert. I'm like, not that I need it, but you could make this in anything, and I guess you keep stirring it. So it's like a frozen dairy or non-dairy dessert. basically. It's like, you know, when people go to the store and they pay like a lot of money to get like the frozen dairy dessert, but this is better because like you don't have to put as much sugar in it, and it can be like more minimal. And I think if you use like almond milks, like some of those are already sweetened anyway, so you wouldn't even really have to add sugar, in my opinion. You could get a flavored one, like maybe chocolate or something, and it would definitely be like a dessert, in my opinion. And I guess because it's so hot in Southern California, people are like I don't even eat popsicles, but this year, this summer, like I have started eating popsicles again. I'm like, oh, because I don't want to run my air conditioner. Like I kind of found if you drink iced coffee and cold water, well today it's only 89, 98 maybe, 89, I don't know. It's not that warm today compared to some days. It was a nice cool 60 degrees this morning. Amazing. I was like, what? 60 degrees only? What universe is this? I don't know. But anyway, it was very balmy and cool like this morning. So, but when it gets really hot again, or I guess most people think 80 and 90s is hot. They probably do. To me, this is like, I don't know, this is like nothing. It's cakewalk city. Well, I don't even think 100 degrees is that bad because like compared to the desert where it's like 118 or something. But you could make that milk ice thing. So basically, all you have to do is take some like milk. You could add sugar in it if you want, maybe some flavoring like Quick or something, I don't know. And you just mix it up and you put it in the freezer, and then I think you kind of keep stirring it, and it's kind of like a much cheaper version and healthier too, because a lot of those non-dairy desserts have not such good stuff in them. And a lot of things that are like filler things to just make them, I don't know, stick together better and whatever. You don't need them. So I might make that today. A lot of things I've been meaning to make. I have to say, ever since I've done the henna treatment with the olive oil, my hair has been so soft and so smooth. I love olive oil. You don't need to put it in your roots either. Like, I am never going to try that again, because I remember a few months ago, I'm like, what is the big fuss about, like, root oiling? So I tried it. Now, I do have to admit, maybe there is something to it. I don't know. Maybe. But I feel like, then again, I'm kind of like, I'm a little skeptical. I'm always skeptical because I think you could just put oil in your hair and it, like, if you naturally don't wash your hair all the time, your hair makes oils. And even if there's oil here, it's going to make its way up here when you brush and comb out your hair. That's the way I see it anyway. But anyway, I mean, I do remember around that time, my hair really grew really fast. Like, maybe that helped, but I can't scientifically prove that that helped because I don't know. It could be anything really. But you can try it if you think that maybe root oiling will help you. I just am hesitant to recommend something like that myself because I've never really done that. Sometimes I experiment with things just out of curiosity. But then I'm like, I don't really understand what the point of this is. And I didn't even do it like some of the women put a lot of oil in their hair when I just don't understand. But these tend to be people that wash their hair a lot more. And I'm still of the mind that, well, look at what people did before modern times. Like, they just weren't washing their hair as much. And I know that's like so controversial. I don't know why, but your hair is not your body. Like, I feel it's different. I know people think like, oh, it's the same thing, but I just, like, to me, if I don't wash my hair all the time and I feel like it's kind of dirty, I can just put water on it, I feel like, without having to completely dry it out with shampoo and I don't know. I just have a different take on that than some people. Like, I don't think you need to wash your hair every day unless you genuinely. And I feel like if you're having like some sort of scalp issue, like back when I ended up having a scalp issue, I was washing my hair more, but over time I realized, you know what? I don't want to wash my hair that much. My hair does not benefit from being washed several times a week. I was just doing that to like clear up a problem I had, which originated with trying like a vinegar thing in my hair that I didn't rinse out. So I've tried things, like I've been inquisitive about stuff when I really shouldn't be. Like, I should be like, why don't you just do what always works? But even me being inquisitive kind of shows you that a lot of this content that's online that's meant for clicky click, that promotes doing a lot of crazy things to your hair, like in the hopes that it's going to help it grow, is not really true. It's kind of actually the other way around, because I feel like the less you do to your hair, the more it's going to grow. Like, the more you leave your hair alone, it's going to grow. Like, doing lots of things to your hair is not going to make it grow. Like, it's kind of opposite, actually. But like, if you want to play opposites day, then yeah, maybe. But I don't know. And also, you need to be very gentle when you brush your hair. That's another thing. Like, the whole brushing, and I know some of the people are like, but you need to rake your hair, and I'm like, why? I was experiencing a little bit harder to uncomb my hair when I had tried budget shampoos a while back, so I want to be middle of the road. I think Garnier, I'm really liking Garnier shampoos, and they're not cheap, but they're not super bougie, and I don't really feel like, I used to like Alethea, which I do think is a good, more natural shampoo, which they sell at Sprouts, but I just can't condone like spending more than a certain amount on a bottle of shampoo. Like, why? Why would I do that? I don't feel like more expensive hair products, like, my hair is looking really beautiful, and I don't use really super expensive things. Like, yeah, I use some oils, and these last, well, not forever, but they do last, and I use some kitchen oil, and I use shampoo like Garnier and Garnier conditioner, and I use henna. But all these things that I do on my hair, like every single product that I buy for my hair, like combined in 1 year, is usually less than the average American woman spends on a salon visit. And how often are people encouraged to go to the salon to get their hair done? And are the results good? A lot of people nowadays are like kind of getting to the point they're like, salon prices keep going up and up, and they don't even get the result that they want. So for me, it's just been intuitively, it makes the most sense not to be a salon girly. I get that there's certain cases where people do need to go to the salon. I think if you have like if you need to get your hair braided, or if you just feel that your hair, like trimming your hair would be just too difficult, I understand in those cases. But in most cases, if you want to grow your hair long, most things you can do yourself at home. I don't know. And when you have wavy hair, sometimes you have hairs that just kind of curl up into it like that. And if I have a hair that does that, sometimes I just kind of pull it out, because I just feel like before I run a brush through my hair, I feel like that might get stuck or something. Maybe not, but I don't know. Or maybe I just like to do it. It's still gonna go back later. You know, I always think that I love those big hair ties the best. I'm like, oh, they're the best ones. They're the best ones to use. Like a few months ago, I bought. Well, it's actually like a year ago now. I bought these larger ones. And I feel like I still do love my super large hair ties. I'm just like, but at the moment, I'm trying to think, do I like these a little bit better sometimes? I don't know. Just one more revolution. Here, okay, so I'm kind of torn. Do I like my big giant ones or these little ones better? I don't know. Lately, I just tried them again, and I'm like, they're not so bad. I mean, they're pretty big actually, but I still feel like I like my jumbo hair tie better. I guess I'm just torn. I'm really torn. Which ones do I like them? I'm gonna do 3 braids. actually really good at braiding hair. Like, I could do any kind of braid. I have skills at braiding hair. I really, really do. I love to braid. It's kind of like therapeutic and an obsession for me. Braiding is just so fun. It's a fun therapeutic activity. This to me is like self-care, hair care, like just doing simple hair care like this. It doesn't have to be like, you know, the kind of hairstyles people think like, oh, hairstyling is like getting out a blow dryer and doing curls. But you know what? If you slept in a hairstyle like this and you took it out the next day, you would have such beautiful waves. And you wouldn't even have to use heat on your hair. And I've done that a couple times. I just don't wear my hair loose as much. Personally, just for more protective reasons. I feel like it stays more protected, contained. Like, I kind of like my hair contained. Love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, that hurts. But that's okay because I'm doing kind of like a 3 braids in a braid thing that I haven't done for a tiny bit. It's just kind of a fun style in my opinion. So yeah, why does styles always have to be loose? Like later you're just gonna have to brush your hair more, and I feel like another thing about loose hairstyling, just in my opinion, I feel like you kind of have to wash your hair more because it just goes everywhere. Whereas if it's in a braid or in an updo, like before my super long hair journey, I kind of was more like, oh, I just don't like to wear my hair super long, not super long, up. I wasn't into wearing my hair up. But I kind of changed my mind a little bit about that, even more recently with claw clips, because I feel like I need to look through my clips a little bit more because I know I have certain clips that I'm thinking about, but I feel like with the right kind of clips, maybe you don't even have to use the hairpins, really. And I just think claw clips are great for updos. But I like a contained updo, like something that's smooth, something with a braided base. I could just get one of the hair ties, and this is the nice thing about the thin hair ties is like you can just use them to bind, like if you do 3 braids in a braid, just to bind the style together, and they're so stretchy, and they're very gentle. Hair ties are very, very gentle. You know, people say that they're not, but I think they are. Like I haven't had issues with these kind of ties. The ties I used to have issues with when I was a kid that everybody hates are the ones that had like that metal thing in them, or the ones that used to have those little balls on the end. And now I'm like, those aren't even necessary. Like I know people have nostalgia for those kind of hair ties, but personally I just think those things are a torture device. And like, yeah, I like hair ties like these, and you can buy a whole bunch for cheap. You know, some of the ones I bought, are they the Equate brand? I usually like Goody, but I think I bought Sketchy. I either get Goody. Okay, so I'll show you different types that I have that I bought. So I bought Goody before. I think those jumbo hair ties I have are actually Goody, but I've taken them out of the packaging since then. So I buy, like, I'm kind of like a hair supply junkie. Like, I like a lot of hair supplies. So I bought this 24 pack of, are these the large scrunchy ones? I'm trying to see if these medium. They're like no damage. But there's also like the Equate brand, and they're basically like the same thing. But these are good for like if you're doing lots of braids or for like the ends of your hair, because I personally think, like, yeah, my hair is too thick to put one of these around my hair, but they're good because they have a lot of stretch and they're elastic. Like they're very non-damaging. And then I have a whole bunch of them that I've already used that I just keep using till, I don't know, they die or something. And these ones they're okay stretch, but sometimes I like to, I know this might make the life of the hair tie not last as long, but I find like I like to stretch, but I just love, for me, maybe this is therapeutic too, I love to stretch out hair ties. I just do, and maybe this makes them not last as long, I don't know. But like I kind of stretch them out sometimes to put around my hair anyway, because I feel like they just go around your hair better. And if they don't live forever, like big willy-nilly, like these are 3, 4, like everything's gone up in price, but like these are fun, and you can always put a cute scrunchie on the ends to decorate your hair too if you want like hair decorations and whatnot for the hair. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Like, I have like literally one I bought years ago, but then my mom, like, for a birthday present during, I think, like, 2021, like, she gave this to me because she's like, oh, look, it's like a French braider that makes it easier to French braid your hair. But if you read the reviews of this thing, the Conair French braider, this thing makes it harder to French braid your hair. So in 2022, when my hair was a little bit shorter, I was actually attempting to French braid my hair, and it looked okay, and I liked it. But I don't think I would do that again, because I feel like the longer your hair gets, the more it would be prone to tangling. But this thing, like the Conair French braider, copyright on this is 2015. This is so 2015. But I like how, I mean, I love the braids that this girl has in her hair. Like, I'm just like, braids are so cool. Like, you can braid your hair. It's awesome. Braids, friends. So much better than like heat styling, wearing your hair loose. That's why I found that when I first looked at the long hair community website, I didn't even agree with a lot of the things they said, because a lot of people were like, oh, you wear your hair loose and just put it up with a hair stick or fork. And I'm like, no, braids all the way. Like, look at this. Like, if your hair, like when my hair was super long, I would pin this around my head as a beautiful crown braid. Braids all the way every day. Braids are so good for your texture of anything wavy to curly, higher. So my long hair experience has a West Asian, Middle Eastern flair because of my hair type, and I love it. And that's my hair experience. So I love that there's more of us now showing a more mixed, more diverse hair experience than just like, oh, like I have pin straight hair and I do this. I think that's one reason I'm just not going to talk about like long hair community as much anymore, because long hair communities aren't even long hair. It's not just like one demographic of people that. Did I get triggered by the woman that said only people with like blonde hair are beautiful in long hair community? I don't know, whatever. I just think it's weird. Like, why? Why is it so necessary? And to me, it's not, because I love dark hair. I really, really love dark hair. You know, it's so beautiful. And you don't need to change yourself to like fit in with somebody's personal aesthetic. Like, I'm not saying blonde hair isn't beautiful. It is. It's just I personally did not grow up with blonde hair, so I'm not going to share something that, like, I think many hair types are beautiful. I also think like natural redheads are beautiful. Black hair is beautiful. I just think, why is it that, who was it that decided that only one hair type, that's chef's kiss? Don't agree. Don't agree. Disagree with them. Be long hair for diversity. Like, that's what my channel is about. So, like, representation of many kinds of people, not just one kind of person. Like, that's who I'm always gonna be. And yeah, thanks friends. Thanks for watching.